Welcome to Flexingate. More importantly, welcome to Flexingate, Detroit. So Flexingate, Detroit, we are starting real production this month, and we have 230 workers that are on hand at the moment, and it's scheduled to get as high as 500 people. At the moment, half of the people that are working at Flexingate, Detroit are from within the city limits of Detroit. Now, I'd like to introduce to you a man who is known for his bold vision, and it's a vision that naturally led him to make the decision to make an investment in the city of Detroit. Making the investment with state-of-the-art manufacturing equipment. You can see the shoulders, the angles on the other side of the building. And he's committed to help bringing jobs back to the city of Detroit. Mr. Shad Khan.
Thanks, Bill. It's wonderful to have all of you here. I've been in auto parts, I've been in business for about 40 years, and one of the things that really has been consistent, has never changed. You go to a customer, you're looking for work, and they say, well, make the price lower and make the quality better. And 2.5 years ago, I found myself in Bert's office, and there was a third thing, vision from Bill Ford Jr. Make the price better, make the quality better, and yes, make a difference in the city of Detroit. Do your part to break the cycle of poverty and invest in the city and make the parts there. So it takes a village, and I think the city of Detroit, state of Detroit, and the customer have been a big part of really investing in Detroit. It's money, but more importantly, it's in the people, and I think a lot of investment, and you're seeing it here today. What I want to share with you is this plant and the benefit it brings the city of Detroit and its workforce gives me as much pride as anything I've done in my life, and I've had a great life. I've really been looking forward to this moment, and I'm so happy all of you are here today. Thank you. So let me introduce the guy whose signature really started the ball rolling, Bert Jordan.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Shad. You know, it's interesting. Today was an overcast day till he rolled in, and the sun all came out and made it all better. On behalf of Ford Motor Company, I'm proud to be here today to support Flexingate, to support the city of Detroit, and the state of Michigan. It's great to be here opening this facility and all the jobs it's creating in the city. As you know, the city's been under a huge revitalization under the mayor, and we're proud to be part of that with the things we're doing as other companies are coming down to Detroit. Hopefully everybody's heard about what we're doing in Corktown with our mobility strategy. And so it's just proud to be here. We want to welcome Flexingate to the neighborhood, and I don't think they're done yet, so thank you.
Thank you, Bert. As I mentioned earlier, this facility would not be possible without the level of commitment from multiple entities. The first thing, again, I want to thank Kevin and Jeff from the MEDC and the DEGC and their teams for helping push us through and breaking down barriers for us. Thank you, guys. Within the city of Detroit, the determination to make this project work has been embodied by our next two speakers. I'd like to welcome the District 3 councilperson who represents our home here in Detroit. He was with us through basically every community engagement meeting that we held in the area. He's been an incredible spark and help for us. Mr. Scott Benson.
Thank you, Bill. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Flexingate. All right, so just really want to reiterate what happened here and how we got here. It is huge, and I really want to thank Mr. Khan and Ford for making it possible to employ all of these Detroiters right here in the 3rd District. So when Flexingate approached the city of Detroit, it was, well, we want to make sure if you guys are going to come that you're going to talk to the community residents, because a development of this size can have some significant negative impacts on the neighborhood. And while we weren't sure how the response would be, Flexingate said, good, they rogered right up and said, we want to meet our neighbors. We want to make sure that we are good neighbors and that they support this development. And a way to ensure that is to talk and negotiate with our neighbors. So the community benefits process was born, and it was perfected right here. And so this success and you all being here is a direct result of that. And so I really want to make sure that we once again thank the state, thank the city, and thank Flexingate for making this all possible. Now, when they met with the residents said, we want three things. Number one, jobs, jobs, jobs. How many of you live in the city of Detroit who are working here at Flexingate right now? Don't be shy. Let us know. If you live in the city of Detroit and you work at Flexingate, raise your hand and stomp your feet. This is a direct reason why. This is why we are here. We put all the energy and effort to make sure that Flexingate got here. So once again, thank you, Flexingate, the state of Michigan, and the administration for making this all possible. They also said, we want to be prioritized as residents for these jobs right here in the 3rd District. Where are Jose and Hosea? Are they over here? There we go. Jose and Hosea, 3rd District residents who were one of the first employees to be here. They used to work at Walmart, left Walmart, come to work right here for Flexingate, saw a 30% increase in their wages by coming right over here. Now that deserves a clap. And so the residents also said, we want to make sure the truck traffic no longer goes through our neighborhoods. And I mean, and you guys at here at Flexingate produce a ton of trucks. So the city worked with the federal government, and they were able to get a grant that widened one of our streets to send the truck traffic away from our neighborhoods right to the freeway. And that's what the residents wanted. We were able to get that, and that's why the process really matters. And for me, what really matters is the fact that we're able to help to hire Jose and Hosea King, who live right here in the city of Detroit, and the rest of you are out here. So once again, thank you all for participating in the process, for helping us hone and perfect this process. Community Benefits works. This is a direct result of this, and we're hiring our people. We're going to continue to hire you Detroiters and make sure that everybody participates in the revitalization of the city of Detroit. Thank you all once again.
And of course, with the city's help, and Mayor Duggan has been an incredible resource for us. We're working on other projects with him as we speak as well. Mayor Duggan.
All right. This is the way we reduce unemployment in the city of Detroit, isn't it? Right? Detroit became known around the world as a city where we made things. And we decided to head back in that direction. Do you realize this is the largest investment in an auto plant in the city of Detroit in more than 20 years? So thank you to Shad Khan and Flexingate. And there's going to be a lot more of this coming. 480,000 square feet, $160 million. But in the spring of 2016, I met Shad Khan for the first time. And he came in and said, I have this contract to build a huge part of the Ford Ranger in Western Wayne County. He says, and I have to have the plant open and operating by the fall of 2018. He says, now Ford wants me to look at Detroit first. And I appreciate deeply Bill Ford and Burt Jordan. He says, but understand, I got to have a plant open. And there's a whole lot of suburban office parks with plenty of green land for us to go. He says, I've got 30 days. Do you think you could put a deal together in the city of Detroit in 30 days? I said, Shad, that's 10 days more than we needed. 30 days later, we had this site, abandoned industrial land. And then, this is the credit Flexingate is due. We went back and said, we got the right site, we've got the right deal, but we have a new philosophy in Detroit. We're going to have a community benefits partner. I want you to sit in a room with the neighbors and talk to them. And Scott Benson did a wonderful job facilitating. But if you'd have seen the first couple of meetings, it was a handful of neighbors with little cups of water sitting around a table talking about their aspirations for jobs, what they wanted in the traffic. And the Flexingate folks from beginning to end treated the neighbors with full respect as full partners. And the neighbors went to city council and said, we support this in the city of Detroit. And so for everybody who made that possible, for Governor Snyder and Jeff Mason and MEDC that put the final pieces of the financial touch together, this is what we can do in the city of Detroit when we work together, and we're going to be having a lot more of this. Congratulations, everybody here.
Thank you, Mayor Duggan. With the opening of FlexingGate Detroit, the state of Michigan is now home to 13 of our 64 manufacturing facilities worldwide. We have enjoyed tremendous support from the state of Michigan with our Shelby Township project, with our Battle Creek project, with our Ionia project, and certainly with the Detroit project. That doesn't happen without outstanding leadership in Lansing, and I'm very pleased to introduce Governor Rick Snyder.
Well, thanks, Bill. It's great being in Detroit today because all this does is solidify that Detroit, Michigan is the capital of the automotive industry, and we should be really proud of that. And the way you make things happen, though, is in government, I remind people, we don't create these jobs. It's great companies that do that. And so we need a big shout out to Shad Khan and the FlexingGate group. Thank you so much, and to Ford for having the commitment to do something here in Detroit. They have made a number of great investments in Michigan, though, so thank you. Over a half a dozen in just the last few years, over 1,000 jobs in our state, hundreds of those jobs right here in Detroit. But if you step back and look at what's going on in this city, in this state today, we should be really proud. We are back, but we have more work to do. There's more ways we can help more neighborhoods. There's more things we can do, but it's a wonderful start. If you look at the last events that the mayor and I have been together, we were at Corktown recently with that huge announcement with Ford bringing thousands of people down into the city to do more research and development. And to give you an idea, 75% of all the research and development in this country, in the auto industry, happens in Michigan. We are the world's leader in that. And then you go on to say, we make things. We not only do that research, we turn them into products that people can use. And you can see those wonderful trucks. That's what FlexingGate's here to do. And if you look at it, in the United States, Michigan has led in the creation of manufacturing jobs over the last 8 years, and we're just getting started. The most important thing I remind people is not what we do in terms of just the business climate, though. That is important. The key to success of how we were great before, how we're coming back now, and how we'll continue on this path is having the most productive, best people working in these facilities. And that's the wonderful part. I always enjoy going on a tour. I had a chance to stop and talk to some of the people working here, and they talked about how they came from this neighborhood. In addition, though, they talked about how they were proud to work here. And that's the key to long-term success, is having the highest quality products done the most efficient way. And I can feel that passion and excitement here. When I look around at this audience of FlexingGate employees, you're fired up. Now I encourage you to go out, get your friends and neighbors fired up so we can help bring more companies and help FlexingGate grow even more here in Detroit, because that's a bright future for all of us. And let's continue this path to bring Detroit back and Michigan back. Thank you so much. Now, I am squeezing in one more thing because we have to have something to give Shad for all this hard work. So for bringing millions of investment and thousands, hundreds of jobs, I'm going to give him a nice wooden plaque. How's that? Shad, come on up. Thank you. On behalf of the MEDC and the state of Michigan, thanks for your investment here. And we've got a lot more wood as you got a lot more ideas. So thank you.
Thank you. What a privilege.
Thank you, Governor Snyder. Before we get to our last speaker, there's a couple other people that we'd like to thank very, very quickly. First of all, DTE for their help with the substation that is powering the facility that you're in today on the northwest side of the property. Our press manufacturer, Schuler, these are beautiful machines, and Engel on the other side for working with us through frost lulls and all these other things that we went through this year. I'd also like to thank the Walsh Group, our general contractor for the site, and IBI, who was our architect. Finally, and I can't name them all here, I can't tell you how many FlexingGate employees have spent their lives here for the last 17 months trying to get this facility up, functional, and operational. Thank you so much to all of you. I know how much work you put in. I would also like to thank our new neighbor, the Elton Baptist Church, who is on the east side of us at the moment. We basically constructed this mammoth facility in your backyard, And Pastor Miller and his wife Diane are here to help us celebrate today. So thank you, Pastor Miller, for working with us over the last couple of months. Finally, I'd like to thank the DEC and certainly Focus Hope for their work in getting us the employees that are here today. In fact, it is because of Focus Hope that your next speaker is here today. I want to read this so I get it right. Tashar Mosby is a graduate of Focus Hope Machinist Training Institute in 2011 and the Center for Advanced Technologies in 2016. He became our first FlexNGate employee on January 3rd, 2018 as a quality engineer. He has already been promoted to an industrial engineer for us. He has also assisted in building the production worker training program that we are currently using at Focus Hope. So, with no further ado, Tashar.
Excuse the nerves. But good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank my family, all the many mentors that poured into my life over the years. And I also would like to thank the FlexNGate staff for giving me this opportunity to stand before you guys. As I prepared this speech, I asked myself, what did I want to relay to the people? And that message became clear to me, to tell everybody my journey. Many times when we think about the accomplishments and the status of a person's position, we forget about the obstacles that they had to face to get to where they are today. So today I'm going to tell you what I've been through to get to where I am today. As Bill said, I attended the Focus Hope program in 2011, where I became the youngest certified machinist. I was motivated by not just wanting a job, I wanted a career. So I decided to join the engineering program. During that program, I caught 3 buses. I worked a full-time job, I worked a part-time job, and I was blessed with a daughter along the way. So I say this to say that the journey was never easy for me. But through hard work and dedication, I made it here today. So fast forward, about 1.5 years ago, I was hired by the FlexNGate staff. And I was blessed to not only become a part of a company that gave me experience and knowledge, but that wanted to make an impact in the community. Let's continue to strive for greatness. Thank you.